It is Wednesday, the 21st of June 2017, and I am just heading into my independent research phase for my final project for my Theatre Arts Master's degree at Middlesex University. And I am recording this video because I want to get into the habit of being able to talk about my process and reflect on that in this sort of medium. Sort of as a practice for the real world, actually. I want to be able to express my visions and my thoughts for the project well enough to let people understand it fully, so that when it comes to maybe pitching this to a professional venue, I'm not stumbling over my words, I'm confident at what I want, and it's as if I've been doing it for a long time. So the project that I want to do is an immersive audio performance piece, an audio interpretation of a snippet of The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell. Very interesting book. It's a section in there and it will be in a pitch black environment, and that means what it says. Pitch black, you can't see a thing, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. The audience will be wearing headphones because the way I'm envisioning this is that it will be binaural or ambisonic sound. So with the headphones you're more immersed and it's a more intimate experience for the audience member. Even if you're in a crowd of 30 people, you each have your own space. There's actually a couple of guys who do performance art called Lundahl and Seitel, and they developed a performance piece where you were taken around a gallery and you had headphones on and a mask, and the idea with the mask, which was quite a domed structure, was so that you didn't feel claustrophobic and each audience member felt like they had enough space. So spatial awareness is quite a big thing in theirs. Whether this is going to be a walkabout in a space or whether it's going to be a static performance where the audience just listen and are taking on a journey with the headphones is something that I'm yet to develop or write up or decide upon. I have to be quite careful with an immersive pitch black piece of theatre because in that environment an audience has to completely trust its theatre maker. So we'll see how that goes. So in terms of reflecting, I haven't got a lot to reflect on at the moment. I did have my feedback last week for this project and it went very well. I didn't spend too long on the presentation side of things. I had to do a Pecha Kucha presentation, which is quite a challenge. Making everything quite concise and quite clear was very important in that process and very helpful because usually, as you can see, I will talk and not a lot of words are said, so this Pecha Kucha was really useful. So I had some great feedback. I mentioned a lot about time and the illusion of time within the Pecha Kucha presentation, and it was suggested that if I want that as quite a theatrical and creative theme throughout, that I might want to study the philosophy of time, and then with that I'd have to also study the philosophy of space, and they are huge subjects, massive. And in terms of the project and what I want to do, I'm not sure that that's quite suitable, and it was probably just something that I should just study over time. The other thing that was suggested was, because I want to become a sound designer and that's what I'm using this for, is that I actually look at sound studies and I learn sound, understand it, understand how and why we interpret it the way we do, understand how we perceive sound, understand the idea that we are always submerged in sound. The etymology of sound, as George Hone Cook states in the book Reframing Immersive Theatre, which is edited by James Fries, in his chapter which is titled Immersed in Sound, Kursk and the Phenomenology of All Experience, he states that the word sound in etymological terms literally means to be below the waves. So honing my study and research into sound would be much, much better, especially when it comes to creating soundscapes and to use ambisonic sound. If I know how we perceive things, I know that I'll have the confidence to create these projects and to go on and be the best sound designer that I can be. So this week, what I plan on doing is just a whole lot of research. So I'll be looking at sound. I've already started looking at the Journal of Sonic Sound as well. There's a lot of information in there. And I think having started reading, I've definitely decided that sound is important, and that is what I'll concentrate on. Time will be sort of a little theme within the auricular vision piece that I'm talking about. But otherwise, to build my knowledge of actual sound and what it is and what it means and what it does and what it is to each person, that's more important. So hopefully I'll be doing these each week. It's either going to be a video or it's going to be a podcast. I will also be doing a blog as well, because I'll be taking different pictures and things. But I want this to be quite a multimodal archive. So videos, audio files, blogs, pictures, podcasts, everything you can imagine, so that I actually have quite a decent portfolio by the time it gets to requesting work. Next week I've got an induction in the Pro Tools suite at uni, which I'm very excited for, and then from then I'll be starting the actual recording journey, which I will discuss a bit more next week, but for now I'm going to sign off and go and read some books.